Hey everybody, how you doing? It is your old pal Wes Wyatt, and today would normally be Randy Chafee talking to you live, but today you're getting me because Randy is doing what he does best, which is out there doing the Road Warrior Randy stuff, and he is doing that today. He may very well pop in. If he does, then I will definitely bring him up. As usual, we have got Kirsten. She's here first. She's usually first. Oh man, look at that! Barry just popped in right behind her. So if you guys have any questions, you want to pop on and kind of see what's going on, by all means do so. And I'd be more than glad to wrap with you. But until then, we'll go ahead and do what we normally do and let you know that we are here for Building Wins Live. I'll see you in just a couple seconds here. All right, guys. Just like I told you, we're here for Building Wins Live. And if Randy decides to pop on, then by all means, I'll bring him on. But what I want to do first and foremost is say happy April Fool's Day, because today is April Fool's Day. Make sure that you don't let anybody get you. And I want to start off with a story that hopefully is going to give you a little bit of a smile. And that is an April Fool's Day memory that has haunted me for many, many years. And that is they used to run a April Fool's Day joke every year in what's called the Sydney Daily News. Yes, they do still have newspapers out there, but back in the day, that's how everybody got their news. And I was a new guy at the school, and I just moved to a town called Botkins, Ohio, which is absolutely, a one-horse town. And I was brand new. I'd lived in the city. I'd lived in Marion, Indiana, which isn't a gigantic city, but it was a polar opposite place to Botkins. And Botkins was just, very, very just vanilla of a city, is a little village actually. And so my teacher had said, did anybody see that the space shuttle had landed at Copeland? And Copeland was I guess company, a factory that was a little bit south in a town called Sydney, Ohio, which is where the Sydney Daily News was at. And I shot my hand up and said, oh yeah, I went and saw it. And his name was Mr. Elsaw. And he said, oh, really? Tell me all about it, and I went on about how I'd walked through it and met the astronauts and, this and that and the other thing. And just very nonchalantly at the end of class, he just, kind of tossed the newspaper on my desk. And, it was the April Fool's, Day, joke of the fact that, there had been a April Fool's joke about going on to the space shuttle. So as you can imagine, I had to eat crow and absolutely positively walk around in shame for a little bit. And then of course, every year after that, one of the buddies that I went to school with would say, hey Wes, how was the space shuttle, on April Fool's Day? So as you can probably imagine, not a great thing to go through, but it just lets you know that you need to have humility and laugh at yourself. And there is our buddy Randy Chafee. I don't know if he's going to pop on or not, but if he does, that'd be awesome. And just anyway, Building Wins Live. I want to let you guys know we had a State of the Union a couple weeks ago. I guess it's probably been a couple months ago, another day that Randy wasn't on. And I wanted to tell you a couple things that are going to be coming with Building Wins, because this is something that is Randy and I's baby, specifically Randy. I am the producer director behind the scenes. But some of the things, I want to give you a little bit of a recap of a few things that are coming. One of which is our website, not only for Building Wins Live, but also for Source One, which is Randy's company. Now, that's going to be something that is coming in the very, very near future. And Another thing that is going to be coming is something that I had told you guys about on the last State of the Union, and that is we're going to be having a Building Wins live book. And it's not going to just be a Building Wins live book, but also, in addition to that, Randy and I are also going to write books ourselves. So there are going to be 3 books that are going to be coming to you in the very near future. And when I say very near future, they're going to be published before the end of this year. So those particular items won't be coming right away, but they are going to be coming. And that is, like I said, the Building Wins book and then Randy and I's books. So we're going to have 3 books coming to you. But in those Building Wins books, what we're going to be doing is the first one will be for just general information about kind of how this whole Building Wins process went. And then we're going to be actually releasing additional books after that. And that's going to be something very exciting that will be announced at a later date, but you're just going to absolutely want to stay tuned for those because they are going to actually be positioned as different niches within, not only sales and marketing and roofing and, pole barns and all the different things that we talk about on this, but other niches as well. So it's going to be very, very exciting. But I want to talk to you about a couple new things. Randy doesn't even know about that. Sorry about the pooch upstairs, but one of the things that's going to be coming with Building Wins that's going to be very, very exciting is we do this in the form of a video podcast. And that is something that's, a great way for people to kind of watch. But what if you're in a situation where you're not watching and not able to, pay attention to a broadcast and you want to catch it in the form of an audio? Well, sorry, again, there's a pooch upstairs. But if you're catching it in the form of an audio, then we're going to have this in a true podcast. So you'll be able to listen to Building Wins on iTunes. You'll be able to listen to Building Wins on any place where you're able to catch podcast ads. So think about whatever your usual suspects are. It's going to be, of course, I said iTunes, but you're going to be able to catch them on iHeartRadio and things like that as well. So that's going to be very, very exciting. So what we'll do is I'll do a couple very quick edits of the audio as we do them and then release them out the same day that we do Building Wins Live. So it's going to be every Friday at 3 p.m. The audio version will probably come later on in the day. So that's going to be something that I think will be just absolutely awesome. And then the other thing is we're going to be going through and doing a lot of repurposing. Now, repurposing is something that if you don't do it, Building Wins is great. And I hope that you love the fact that, there's going to be, watching it in here on Facebook, but we want to make sure that you're able to get it in a lot of other ways. So we're going to be repurposing this content, both the video and the audio, in several other places. And I'll do kind of layout of that for you and actually show you how that works on a later date. Man, look at this. Look what we got here. Oh my gosh. It is the road warrior himself, Mr. Randy Chafee. How you doing, Randy?
Can you believe it? I just thought I'd jump on to make sure you weren't saying anything bad about me, brother.
Never. Are there kids playing at the pool?
No, I'm stealing Starbucks web Wi-Fi right outside of Starbucks. I'm at Miramar Outlet Mall, just in Estero, Florida, and the kids' airplane was delayed up till probably 6:37 at night. So it's a good thing you stepped up to the plate, big fella, because I would have been still running around airports or outlet malls entertaining grandkids. So
that's absolutely not a problem whatsoever. I was just going over a couple of the things that you don't even know about, that I haven't even talked to you about. One of which being the fact that we're going to be not moving, but in addition to going live here on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to be turning the broadcast into an actual podcast that will go out on iTunes and all the usual suspects, which I know you're excited about and have asked about in the past. And then the other thing is we're going to also be repurposing the program in both the audio and the video out to several other places. It was kind of interesting, Randy, because I had went over a site, and the young lady that had put the post out was talking about, getting your information out to all these different places. So I kind of clicked on it and was looking at it, and after looking at it, saw and that it would be absolutely perfect for this show. So that led to the audio, which led to the repurposing of both the audio and the video. And I think it's going to be absolutely exciting, not only for us, but, many times last week we had, the great Ken Walls on. We'll have, Ben Gay the third, or whoever the amazing guest is, either from, places like authors and which Ken is as well, but authors and marketers like Ken, but also in the industry that you're in, which, is going to be either, pole barns or roofs, or the different things that go into those with the different attachments and whatnot that you do. We'll be able to give the guests and or the people that we're promoting a much larger reach and that much more digital real estate out there on the web to be able to help promote them and edify them. So it's going to be very exciting.
I love it. I love it. We've been talking about that, my friend. And I'm going to let you go in a minute because you will carry on much better without me. But that's some stuff we've been talking about, man. And I love it. We're just going to keep, every time that my problem, Wes, is I'm going to have to stop either being sick or traveling on show days, because every time you guest host, you commit me to all kinds of stuff that I didn't know I was committing to. It's amazing.
Isn't it great, though?
It is great, because I guess you believed me when I told you that one day that there's nothing I'm not up for. Let's just do it. I guess you took me at my word, didn't you?
I did. And, Randy, before you go, last week with Ken Walls, you were talking about, and I think you did it with several other guests before that, but, you said something about when we were getting ready to go live, you had put it off and said, hey, Wes, how about we do it, 2 or 3 weeks later, or after this, or, before that, or, it was kind of starting to not gather, momentum, but I said, no, we're going to do it the day that you said that you wanted to do it. And the reason why is because it doesn't matter if it's marriage, or if it's having kids, or if it's, starting a new opportunity, or whatever it is. If you wait until things are perfect and the stars aligned, you'll never do it.
Exactly.
The comedian
Sarah
Silverman. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, I lost you, but yeah, you're spot on, my brother. And I'm going to say one last thing, then I'm going to get out of here because I'm just not that great a signal. But for anybody when they're watching this live or on replay, I talk about engagement. And my friends, the reason that Wes and I are doing this is we both engaged in a mastermind group. We engaged in a lot of things. We got to know each other, and we have met Wes, right? So many people outside of what we do on a daily basis that's just made our overall life better, right? And my only point I'm going to throw that out is I think this is very applicable today that you and I are doing this. And it's all because if we wouldn't have engaged that first time together, we wouldn't be doing any of these things and all the stuff you're talking about. So when people exist instead of engaging, this is what I'm talking about. We could have existed and we would not have known each other. We would not have had a great moment with pecan pie and a girl telling me that I could have ice cream if we would have, right?
No, you're exactly right.
No, but anyways, I'm going to go cutting in and out. I don't have very good signal here. I just wanted to jump on. Thanks for carrying the heavy load that you do, my brother. And commit me to more things. Will you commit me? And I'm there. We're doing it.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Cheers, buddy. Love you, friends. Cheers, all.
See you later, buddy. So anyway, what I was wanting to kind of convey with that is a couple things. Randy brought up a few things that are going to lead into other things, and that is the first thing being we just met a couple weeks ago at Columbus, and Randy had asked the waitress when she came over if the pecan pie come with ice cream, and she looked at him and she said it could. And I love the idea of that because it's just something that, so many times people tell you what they can't do as opposed to what they can do. Or, they give you attitude. And, even if, she'd have said no, she might have, figured out a way to do it sweet, do it in a way that doesn't have an off putting. Because if you think about it, let's say that we had a great meal, which we did. We had this, great meal, great drinks, and great fellowship. And then at the very end, when he asked about that ice cream and she soured him, it might have been the difference between leaving there and saying, "Man, that was just a great time," to saying, it was good up until blank. And so it's just so important, not to go off on a completely separate idea, but tell people what you can do, not what you can't do. And Barry wants you to have a great weekend. So anyway, we were talking, just a couple minutes ago with Randy saying how we committed to stuff. And Randy had said, "I'm going to do this podcast and I want you to do it." And at that point, as we were just saying, a couple of things were coming up and he was just getting a little, apprehensive, "I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. And so can we do it at a different time?" And the comedian, Sarah Silverman, one of the things that everyone says about her is that if you say, "I'm thinking about," before you even get the rest of the sentence out, she'll say, "Stop." And they'll say, "Why?" And she'll say, "You're not going to do it." And the reason why is because she knows if you're just thinking about it, there's a great chance that you're not going to do it. You're probably going to just keep thinking about it and keep thinking about it. And I'll tell you, something to wrap this up here in just a second. But if you wait until the stars align, you just won't do it. And I'll give you a great example, guys. Number one, this mug. Okay. I've got a great face for radio. So podcasting is awesome. Being the producer director is awesome. Getting off and being the producer and director behind the scenes is absolutely optimum for me. You can't see it. I'm wearing pajama pants. And the reason why is because I work at home. I don't necessarily have to go out a great deal. So I do it in comfort. I have my coffee, sitting here. I have, toys, as you can see, behind me. I'm a play baby. Well, the reason that, I love being able to do that is because I do it behind the scenes. Okay. I'm not that camera ready, but if you wait until you're in a perfect soundproof, area, I just had a dog barking. You'll probably hear it again. I may have lights go out. I could have a, situation where there was a lights go out. There could be 1,000 things that could happen. But if you worry about those things that can or could happen, you'll never do it. And so I would tell you to do what Randy trusted me in. And that is, if someone tells you we're going to do it, just do it come, heck or high water. And the reason why is because there's absolutely no reason, not to. There's just not. You just heard a beep. That is, a message coming through. I've got normally crazy eyebrows that are popping up over my glasses. I might have, it's tax time, so there could be, papers piled up around. You just never know what is going to be going on, but you don't want to wait until you have things perfect before you do something. So I'm going to give you guys an example of this, and then I'll let you go. A little short since it's Friday and we don't have a guest. I'll tell you this story and then I'll let you go. But there was a time many years ago, and of course there's a doorbell again, guys. You just can't you can't wait until things are perfect. But anyway, I was doing a idea with a friend of mine where I was going to advertise on my bald head. Okay. Now you can't see it, but I've got a big dent in the back of my head where I had some surgery, and that's neither here nor there. But I just, when I had it done, I had this square in the back of my head, and then I shaved my head, and I said, I'm going to advertise on my head. I just thought that'd be funny. And he said, that is the dumbest idea that I've ever heard. You just don't do that. That's a bad idea. So I kind of, was hee-hawing in the background and bought a domain name and was, doing this and doing that and preparing this and preparing that. And I was diapering my daughter, who is now, 19 years old. So it tells you how long ago it's been. And on the news, I heard man sells forehead on eBay for $37,000. Okay, now $37,000. If you got it today, you'd be very happy. If you won a little lottery ticket or something like that, back 19 years ago, it was life-changing money for somebody that had a baby. And so I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited with this stupid idea that I actually thought was a good idea. And then somebody did it, and then the nuance was off of it. I think he did it again for, I don't know. I think it was actually more. And then I think he actually, did a couple other things, but then the newness was off. It had been done. It was old hat. Okay. So if you have an idea and you think it's, silly, or that, it's just not, gonna get, teeth and move on, I'm gonna just beg of you, to move on with it, because you would rather go through. There's a saying that says that you would, some people would rather ask for forgiveness than permission. Okay, and that means kind of doing a ready, fire, aim. Kind of a mindset where you throw a parachute out and jump after it, as opposed to jumping out with it on. So I would tell you that you would rather fail at something knowing you've done it than to not do it and then see someone else get the idea, someone else move through with it, someone else do something. I'm sure the guy that made the pet rock probably had people saying that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, or girl, I don't know. I think it was the guy that did it. But just make sure that you move on these things that you have. Building Wins Live, the mastermind called Megamind that Randy and I met in, whatever, insert your idea here. Everything started with an idea. And so it doesn't matter if you are going through and doing what Randy does, which is being a road warrior. Randy will many, many times walk through these conventions that he's at, and I'll ask him when he gets back, how many people were doing video? How many people did you see, that were set off with a couple friends talking? How many people were, standing in front of their booth and giving a presentation? How many people were, standing over a product and were going through and talking about that product on video? And invariably, it's always, 5, 10 people, maybe, and I don't think I've ever heard him say double digits. So 10 is probably, way off of the reservation. It's usually just a couple people that are, doing it, and Randy included, among hundreds, if not thousands of people. Now, hundreds of booths probably, and thousands of people, they're just around, either as exhibitors or guests, that are walking around. Because a lot of times, if you've ever been to, one of these things as an exhibitor, you will sit there and, also go through and look at the other exhibitors as a guest. So, but always, when I ask, it's one of these situations where he'll say, not very many people at all. And that's sad, guys, because video is where it's at, even with this mug. Okay. Not everybody can look as good as Randy, going around. So I'm just telling you that if you have an idea that you want to move with and you want to take advantage of, make sure that you find somebody that is going to be able to help you with that. In the case of, audio and video and whatnot, feel free to give me a call. I'd be more than glad to help you. If you go to weswyatt.live, and I'll put that on the screen for you. here. If you go to that, weswyatt.live, I'd be more than glad to interact with you. But if you have got something that, is outside of audio and video and social media and whatnot, find the person that is going to be able to help you, or just go to YouTube, go to, Google and type it in and learn it yourself and do it yourself, because there's just no reason not to, be your own radio, your own TV, your own newspaper, your own books, your own everything. Okay, because you've got it all in the palm of your hand. You've got the ability to be your own media outlet. You've got your way to be your own broadcasting outlet. You got yourself your means to be your own publishing outlet, all right here in the palm of your hand. But you got to do what Randy did, and you got to do what everybody else did. You got to do what the Think and Grow Rich secret is, and that's take action. Action is where it's at, guys. They say that, or Benjamin Franklin said, that energy and persistence conquer all things. Well, the energy is action, and the persistence is consistency and getting out that digital real estate to where you become an influencer. You become the person that people know, like, and trust. And once you have that, do what that waitress did and always tell people what you can do and not what you can't do, and be positive and be a person that, or persons, if you're more than one person. I've got someone right here. Tom, he said video is so important. It's changing my businesses. Tom will go on with his partner Mark and do a just absolutely amazing broadcast. Be the people that are bringing the great in people's lives, and being that influencer, that trusted friend. You think about the old broadcasters like Dan Rather and Tom Brokaw and Walter Cronkite and people like that. The older broadcasters that used to be out there. People would huddle around, for them to tell them what was going on, and they believed them. And some of them went astray. Some of them got in trouble for, reporting, bad things, and kind of wrap this up, full circle, what I was talking about, that dinner where we went out and had that great meal, and how that waitress could have told us something at the end that kind of soured the whole thing, but she didn't. She wrapped everything up in a bow with, it could, and then did bring ice cream with his pecan pie. So in the case of one of those broadcasters I mentioned, they had an absolutely amazing career, and then one thing soured it. Okay, and you don't want to be that person. You want to make sure that you are genuine, that you're bringing the goods, and doing what you're supposed to do. If you do that, you're going to have an absolute great career, and you're going to be able to die empty, as the great Miles Monroe talks about. So guys, I went off on a billion different tangents, but I just want to thank you for or on behalf of the great Randy Chafee, my buddy. We strive to bring you an absolutely great episode every time, and let you guys know that it's something that if you need to have a outlet to talk about, by all means, come on the show. We'd be more than glad to help you out. Kirsten, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. You're always the first person on the show. Thank you. But make sure that you guys tune in to Building Wins Live for all the exciting updates that we're going to have. Like I said, there's going to be all sorts of amazing stuff coming very, very soon. Randy and I will have the book available for you. And got Randy, incredible show. And yes, thank you for checking in. And guys, as the producer director of the Building Wins Live, I can't thank you enough for supporting Randy, supporting all the amazing guests, commenting, sharing, and just doing everything that you do. It's because of you that Randy and I are able to do what we do, and we can't thank you enough for it. So, guys, I'm going to wrap this up with the same thing that Randy would normally do and say, and that is this. And I'm going to bring it up on the screen right here, guys, and that is make today your best day ever until tomorrow. And, guys, I can't thank you enough. Until we talk next time, have a dynamite day. Bye-bye, guys.